Now to the first of this month's reconstructions. A few weeks ago we received a tragic and very moving letter from Robert and Lee Goble in Hastings. They were desperate to find whoever set fire to their home 3 months ago while they and their children were asleep inside. At the same time, Sussex police asked us for help. In the reconstruction you're about to see, many people, including neighbours who were there that Saturday night, have taken part. Actors and actresses play the Goble family. Their house is 38 St Helens Road, which is a main thoroughfare in Hastings. Our reconstruction begins in the early hours of Sunday, February the 3rd.
Sammy! Sammy! Come on! Come, Sammy! Sammy, come! Come! Finished?
Right. What time are we going to your mum's tomorrow, love?
Oh, I said about lunchtime. Must look in on the kids.
Lee Goble kissed the children good-night as usual before she and her husband went to bed. It was about 1:30. Just over an hour later, a taxi drove up St Helens Road. The driver recalled seeing 2 men with an oil drum beside a van parked near the Gobles' house. He assumed they'd run out of petrol. A passing driver remembers a man dashing across the road into the park opposite number 38.
Lee! Lee! For God's sake, wake up, woman! The house is on fire!
Oh my God, the kids! The kids!
Don't worry about the kids!
Oh God!
You go shout!
Oh God! Oh God! Help! Help! My babies! Someone help!
Hearing her screams, Bob Spice, a builder who lives next door, rushed out to help. Another neighbour phoned the fire brigade. As Bob got a ladder up to the parents, he realised the children were still trapped in the back bedroom. He tried desperately to reach them. Another neighbour, Ron Salt, realised he'd have to climb the ladder to try and persuade the parents to come down. He'd already noticed a young man simply standing and watching. He was holding a white crash helmet.
For God's sake!
Come on down!
I'm not
Come on!
going, my
Listen,
baby!
Lee, get out of the house!
Baby!
The fire brigade on the way! They're coming out!
As the ambulance left, the police already knew that the fire had been started deliberately. The 2 children never recovered. The arson attack had now become a murder inquiry. And Detective Superintendent Bill Clements is in charge of the case. Do you think murder was the intention?
Well, I think that they meant harm to the Goble family because by pouring the petrol on the stairs, they cut off their way of escape, so they meant to harm them, yes.
Have you found any possible grudge against the family?
No, they're a very happy family. We've seen all their friends and relatives. Nobody has any grudge against the Gobles, and certainly they couldn't have had anything against those 2 little children.
So no apparent motive at the moment. You found that oil can in the garden. Do you think that's significant?
Yes, at some time it's contained petrol. It doesn't belong to any of the Gobles, and it doesn't belong to any of their near neighbours. But it certainly contained petrol.
What's rather surprising is that it was a main road, and yet not many witnesses have come forward.
That's true. In fact, we've got over 30 people that have been described by various witnesses who we've still yet to trace. There are a lot of people still outstanding.
Now, a number of people you particularly want to get hold of, the 2 men who were seen beside that van.
That's right. They were seen some time earlier than in that evening. One of the men was in his mid-30s with a sallow complexion and wearing a bomber jacket. They need to be eliminated from the inquiry.
And the van's quite unusual.
Yes, it's exactly as shown. It's a BMC model, except that at the rear there are windows in the doors. It's a model that hasn't been manufactured since 1972.
And do you know what colour it was, the van?
No, the taxi man who saw it can only say it's red. Dark, sorry.
A dark colour, right. And you also want to know who that man was on the screen there who was running across the road?
Yes, he was seen just before the fire was discovered. He's most important. He's a young man in his early 20s in a sort of motorcycle jacket, probably leather. He's most important for us to find.
That was about 3:45.
Yes.
And interesting, he had a leather jacket because the young man who was seen just gazing at the blaze also had a leather
That's
jacket.
right, and the man with the white crash helmet was at the scene when the fire was discovered. He could be the same man as previously shown, but of course they were described by different witnesses.
So we need to find those.
Most important those men are.
Anyone else you particularly want to find out who you know was there?
Yes, there's a young lady who was walking her dog. She was seen within 100 yards of the scene just about the time of the fire. It's most unusual for anybody to be walking a dog that time of night, and we would have liked for her to have come forward.
Right, so to sum up, exactly what do you want people to come forward with tonight?
We want anybody who didn't have relatives in their house, who fear they might know the identity of the person responsible, and even if it means informing on someone they know, it's most important that they come forward.
Detective Superintendent, thank you. And if you think you can help, please do ring us. You can talk to the detectives, or if you prefer, you can talk to a BBC researcher. The number 01811 8055. The lines are open, but if you can't get through, keep trying. Or you could call Sussex Police in Hastings. The number 425 000. That's 0424, the code for Hastings, 425 000.